What is up? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. I would say it's late night, but getting used to the whole West Coast, East Coast drama. No, more like time frames. It's only 7:48 here, so this one's for all you West Coast lovers.
Listen, folks, I know there's a history here. I'd like to get this hearing in today. You know, everybody needs to just focus on the relevant facts, okay? I know there's a history here.
Are you talking up by Sunset Mart? Up the hill by the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you... All right, who's responsible here?
Nobody.
Who's responsible here? Whose house is this?
Yeah, they haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay, drive careful, okay?
All right, guys, drive careful. Come on in. Check it out to the stage. Some documents. Guess what, guys? Bryan Kohberger is like, yo. We have some issues here, and I want the world to know about it. Not only has Ann Taylor submitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's on her 12th now. Discovery request, supplemental request. And I know why Ann Taylor is asking for something else. Because in a case that is, 4 years old, 2020 out of Bonner's Ferry, there's still discovery that has not been turned over. If it, in fact, this was to be still a criminal case against the suspect who was basically his case was dismissed without prejudice in Dr. Dan Moore. Then there became a civil suit actually during the criminal investigation. But there is missing discovery. Yep. The assistant police chief was handed not only a written report from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Department in Ken Lalith, whatever he wants to go by. I just call him Ken L. He went and interviewed Jennifer Drake that next day in the, I guess you could say, like mid-noonish time. Nooner. They probably had a nooner. He actually wore his body cam. He actually had his dash cam, and he interviewed her and whoever was at the house. Then he took his dash cam, he took his body cam, packaged it all with a bow, with a report, and handed it over to the assistant police chief. So think about Lanier getting something. Think about even your police chief getting, here is the report. This is the first interview of Jennifer Drake, the widow of Brian Drake, never to be interviewed in this type of capacity. Here's body cam, and here's dash cam. And do you know that it is not surfaced to this day? That first interview of Jennifer Drake, that should be in discovery. But guess what? The chief and the assistant chief took the body cam, took the dash cam, and fucking hit him. And only turned over in discovery the written up report by Ken L that said basically very minimal stuff and said, look at my body cam and dash cam. Now, fast forward all these years, 2024, here we are. Bryan Kohberger, they just filed this motion. And before this motion was, hey, discovery, we need discovery, we need discovery. So why are you requesting discovery and discovery and discovery? Because when you're reading reports, you come across something that says, this person talked to this person, or this happened, and you're uncovering more things as you divulge into the information, and then you realize that, okay, well, where is that? Where is this? That's no different. That's exactly what's happening in the Bryan Kohberger case. That's why they keep on requesting this discovery, because it has not been turned over. And how they know it exists is because they're taking stuff that they already have that's pointing to them that, hey, this is over here. This is, there's these other items. For example, how I found out that Ken L had body cam and dash cam was because he wrote it in his report. So I'm looking through all of this crap and I'm like, where's the dash cam? Where's the body cam? People don't even know who Ken L is in this case. Who is the damn Kootenai County Sheriff's Office detective? The first person to ever interview Jennifer Drake. So then we look at the Bryan Kohberger case and we got the same type of people. Did you guys know that in the Jennifer Drake, Bryan Drake, Dan Moore case out of Bonners Ferry, that Gary Tolson, who was part of the Idaho4 investigation with the Idaho State Police, he says, hey, Jennifer, we had the canine dogs from Kootenai. We had them down here in Bonners. Wait, excuse me? You had the dogs, the canines in Bonners Ferry during this investigation? Where is there a report of any of this? So I was reading and listening to Gary Tolson interviewing Jennifer Drake, and I was just like, wait, there ain't no fucking dogs. If there's dogs, there's no reports of these dogs ever. Like, you have to fill out reports. You bring in your canines. You just don't, So then it got me thinking, so the day of the murders where we see a report that comes across and says that there was canines that were being utilized in a search off campus at a off-campus house. And I'm like, oh, bet you there's no report on those dogs that are, because I've been trying to get my hands on everything that happened with those dogs the day of the murders out in Moscow. Speaking of which, I'm in Idaho doing this live. Like, woo! Idaho. No, Idaho. Boston, good to see you. Cheers, baby. So what today's live is about is, what is Ann Taylor doing? Ann Taylor is about to bring the hammer, as Miss Potts would like to say. She believes that she's going to put that hammer on that ass. And I'm going to concur with that. Ann Taylor is, what's up there, Sarge? What is good? She is going to, the 26th of July, I wish it was July, of January, they have a hearing. And I think a lot of decisions are going to be made about some stuff. But more importantly, I think Ann Taylor is not going to hold back about these emails and what transpired in how and why stuff has been sealed that is outside of the scope of what the Idaho, what code is it? What was the statute? I don't need to pull it down. I got so many things up right now. We'll click off that. I should have clicked off that one. And we'll close that one. That one. God, man. Close these. I'll close that one. Leave that one up and close that one. Close that one. Leave that one. All right. Let's see if you guys are looking at the same thing. No, let me go ahead and put this new one up. Window. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and we're going to get to the whole president writing a book and stuff like that. So comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through his attorney, as we know, Ann Taylor, public defender, and hereby moves the court for an order to unseal the defendant's motion to reconsider orders denying motions to dismiss indictment, and in the alternative for permission to appeal from interlocutory orders and a stay of proceedings filed with the court on 12/21/2023, and the state's objection to this motion that was filed with the court on 1/5/24. The motion is made on the grounds that the pleadings and hearing thereon do not need to be sealed. Flat out, hey, these don't need to be sealed. We don't want these to be sealed. We don't want these to be sealed because Bryan Kohberger wants this to be a very transparent proceeding. Lord. Damn it. There we go. Ooh. Previous motion related to the grand jury proceedings were properly sealed pursuant to ICAR 32. That was the code I was looking for, 32, Idaho Criminal Rule 6, and the court's order relating to the grand jury proceedings. The pending proceedings brought by motion and supported by pleadings do not meet the language of the rule. The issues for the court to decide are procedural and legal and do not devolve into areas covered by rule and order. Mr. Kohberger, the only reason he sought sealing of those filings, it was solely based on email communication with the county prosecutor's office, stating that they wanted the filings sealed. The deadline for Mr. Kohberger's motion was imminent. Thus, in an abundance of caution, the defense filed a motion to seal. Counsel for Mr. Kohberger informed the Latah County Prosecutor's Office a motion to unseal was forthcoming. Mr. Kohberger moves the court to unseal the proceedings and filings on the basis that these filings and proceedings are not covered within ICAR 32. Mr. Kohberger acknowledges the right of the public to be fully informed of the issues. Now, guys, Mr. Kohberger wants everybody to know about it. What do you think that means? Well, I think it's, hey, if it was bad for you, would you want everybody to know about it? There you go. But then again, people are going to say, hey, any press is good press. I would say not in a situation like this. The question is when is Ann Taylor going to motion? When's this motion coming? When is she going to try to get the gag order lifted? You know, when is Ann Taylor going to try to get the gag order lifted? But he said the people have a right to know. Stop denying FOIA requests. People are getting denied FOIA requests. Interesting. You have an opportunity to appeal those. Yes. Is it necessary trying to get around the gag order? I think this is well within his rights. They can say trying to get around a gag order or not. But at the end of the day, Bryan Kohberger has, we as the public have a right to know what's going on. He thinks it's important for us to know what's going on. I think that if you're Bryan Kohberger and your basically your counsel kind of wrote it in a motion where they said that sheath was placed, the language that they used was placed, that language would imply that Bryan Kohberger, I believe, probably told his attorneys, that is not my sheath. I clearly wasn't there. And how my DNA is on that sheath, even if it is my DNA, we don't even know. But at the end of the day, they went with the word place on that sheath, which immediately tells me that something is sinister. And the only way that you take something that's sinister and get away with it, or I'm sorry, not get away with it, but do away with it, is to expose the living fuck out of it. If you want to expose and prevail over corruption, or I mean, something to this magnitude, how else do you want to consider it? I mean, it could be average citizens that place that, or it could be law enforcement that place it. But if Bryan Kohberger is saying that that's not his sheath and he didn't do this, right? There's got to be a hell of a lot of things that are being filed, and everything and anything that falls within the language that is for the public viewing, they want it there. Of course, There is this gag order. Should there be this gag order? Let's remind ourselves why there is even a gag order. We were told that it was because of the safety of law enforcement. It was for the people's lives were going to be at stake. The witnesses, that there need to be this gag order. That whatever was going to be found in Bryan Kohberger's apartment, it was going to look like a CSI episode where they walked in and the whole wall is covered with police officers' photos, the victims' photos, the surviving roommates' photos, and that there's going to be strings and lines and all these plans and wherever he may have worked, whatever he was doing. But they were so fearful of what they were going to find in that apartment. Let me tell you what they found in that apartment. Nada. Just like the car that was supposed to be a treasure trove. Nada. The car that has nada, does it have a cleanup? Does it have any signs of that? And again, Ann Taylor is saying no. And that her client is not in any way, shape, or form connected to any of the victims. We don't even know how you got here. You know, what led you to Bryan Kohberger? Even if his DNA is on that sheath, how did you even come to that? You know, who did it? Who's the lab? Who's the person behind the lab? Who did it all? And you know what's nuts is that people think that there's a problem with this. Like, who cares? They don't have to share that with you. What are you talking about? You don't think a lab that worked with your DNA or any of our DNAs we don't think that we should know that if you're charged with murder? Well, then I pity you who says that. That's what I mean, I wouldn't want you anywhere near anything that I would ever be associated with. And I sure as shit wouldn't want you teaching my youth around me. But you know, you can't just be going and taking evidence and going supplying it to unknown labs and unknown people. For what? Why do you even have to do that? For what? For the protection of what? The lab? That's what labs do. This is what they do. Labs work with samples all day long. So what's the problem? I mean, it's kind of like when you're dating somebody and they make something a big deal that's not a big deal. And then you're like, wait, why are you making this a big deal? So that's when you go and you're like, okay, they just made something a big deal. That's not a big deal by saying that, oh, I can't tell you about something. Now you're like, okay, well, that's weird. And now it's when it should have been a big deal. If you're just doing your job procedure, don't look over here. Don't look over here. Everybody has the right to due process, and everybody has the right, in my opinion, to see how and who and why your name would be thrown in to be a suspect in a murder. You as an American citizen would want the same transparency, no doubt about it. So with the time that we've spent here in Idaho, I think there's a lot of things. I'll tell you about the coffee in Idaho. I had the lovely chance to see the jitters in these little pop-up coffee shops everywhere. So no wonder why everybody's like, coffee. Like literally coffee is everywhere. And there are these little, little drive-through. They look like little, I don't know, garages, bar. I don't know. They're little.
It's like very Seattle.
It's Seattle-ish. It's Seattle-ish. So no wonder why everybody's like Venmoing people money for coffee. You know, you're driving by literally on this 1 or 2 lane highway because you're going this way and cars are coming this way and it's on 95 and that's all. And everything's like in like a straight line kind of. And you just get off at these exits. It's windy. It's freezing, but we went on over to Clarkston, Washington. We went on over to, Lewiston, because I wanted to see why the fuck Bryan Kohberger wanted to go there, right? Well, I don't know why Bryan Kohberger went there, but he went there, and it's what, 40? It was a 45-minute drive from Pullman. Pullman's nothing like what I thought. They make it look way more like just commercialized, like just, I don't know. And it's really, it's not at all. It's super tight. It's older. It's like a little quaint college town or something. It's, I don't know. I just feel like where the media stands every time they want to do a story on this case. Yeah, I think it's fine. Moscow, I think, is tiny. I'm a city girl, I guess. I don't know. But Ohio State, Cincinnati, it's huge compared to that. But you're on top of each other, you know. Everybody's close. It's really, really pretty here. It's like so pretty. It's like the hot girls and the hot guys that are just, but then when you talk to them, it's just like, their souls are just like, So, what was the grocery store in that town? They said he was at, do you know? Yeah. So about that grocery store, I was expecting him to go to a Super One because everybody goes to Super Ones. Where he went is not a Super One because all they have is Super One. So now I know why Bryan Kohberger went there, is because he wasn't trying to go to Super One. People on a Friday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night for fun go to Super One. I don't know why, but ask them. Yeah, Albertsons, that's the name. It is. It's really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. Definitely really, really pretty. But getting back over to Albertsons, I'll tell you this. If Bryan Kohberger it's going to have his whereabouts wherever he was traveling in terms of leading up into the murders. I mean, when I'm going through discoveries and stuff like that, I go all the way back 3 months and I'm checking to see what their normal pattern is. You know, for Brian Drake, he literally he loved big-breasted women and he would Google it. Okay. So I'm like, okay, Brian didn't change his go-to, you know, big-breasted women. But also things like where you work out, if you go to church, certain places that you go to eat on certain nights because they have a special, just things like that. Things where you're in some type of a routine, especially when you're single. But more importantly, when you're married and have kids, you got kids that have soccer or basketball or dance or piano, whatever it may be. So Albertsons, though, is literally, you got Snake. What's it? Snake River goes up into Clearwater. And when you stand on top of the Lewiston looking over, you can see the steam coming. What is that over to the left when I'm looking down with the steam? In Lewiston? It's a pulp mill. That's it. It's a pulp mill. But back in the day, before they put in this bridge in a different route.
Can you tell the most important part with the snake and the Clearwater?
Yeah.
The Clearwater goes into the Columbia, which goes all the way to the ocean, which is a perfect way for drugs.
Okay. So the snake flows into the Clearwater. And now the Clearwater flows right into the Columbia. And the Columbia is right your little transport out for your drugs, in case anybody wants to know that. And that could possibly be important in this case, right? You guys want to talk about drugs? Yeah, Clearwater goes into the snake. But guess what? Columbia. We got the Columbia River. And guess what? That's your transport of your drugs. That's your history lesson today. Cheers to this episode being sponsored by Corona Extra. Not really, but cheers. But before they put in this new way to get down into Lewiston and Clarkston, because it's right there together, and then you have your little divider with your bridge. It was called Spiral Highway, right? Spiral Highway. And I saw this when we pull up, because we pull off to the side so we can I want to record stuff and do things. And
You made snow angels. That was a really good snow angel you made.
I did I make a snow angel?
It was so good.
I made a snow angel,
You put
okay.
a halo on it. It was 15 below.
It was 15 below making snow angels. About froze my tits off. But true story is I was like, holy shit, Bryan Kohberger was probably traveling down Spiral Highway, slipping and sliding. I'm like, wait, no, it wasn't that bad of weather. But then I realized that because the people I was with, yeah, that's the only way to get down there. I said, really? He had to go down this, look it up, Spiral Highway. I was like, holy shit. I said, maybe that's why, if he's driving around, he wants to see things he never saw before. Come to find out, no, they put in a new path and how you can do it all. Okay. So he didn't probably go there for Spiral Highway. And there is not Albertsons just all over. So if he is very, very meticulous with what he wants to eat, I asked people around, I said, if you want this, if you want that, where would you go? How would you buy your food? If you grocery shopping wise. And yeah, they said that's where you would go. So again, I've been asking a lot of local questions. I've asked everybody I've come in contact with if they know Bryan Kohberger. Have you seen this man before? Have you seen this man before? Have you heard of this case? If you were a potential juror, how would you vote right now? A lot of Trump signs, a lot of Trump supporters. What else? Got tons of videos. Did a lot of reenactments. It was really, really hard to do reenactments live. You guys, the service sucks in Moscow. It's not good. It's just not good. When I was trying to do a video, as you guys could see, it was pausing my video. So I was like, I can't do this live and actually have a true and accurate reenactment, because it was, when I went back and watched that last video that I did over there, it was bad. You can't, that's not how you could actually use that to have an accurate, we were doing sound tests. We did vision tests over monitors. We did timing tests of certain things, how you could possibly whip the fuck around the house and possibly do that. We couldn't do it on a couple of the days because it was dangerous conditions, and I didn't really feel like we shouldn't be plowing into these cars, Nobody called any noise complaints. I was not approached by any officers. It's so quiet around there. It was obviously earlier in the morning, not like super early, I didn't think, but Shagat's Bagels was not out selling bagels. I was really upset about that.
So cool. I can't believe he wasn't out there. Way to be a trooper, dude.
I know. I was really hoping that the Shagat's Bagel guy was there, because I just wanted to record him. I wanted to interview him. I think he's fucking wild, but whatever. I don't believe that Adam is in town. I don't think that Adam is working anymore at the corner club. I had a local make me, what was it? Homemade lasagna. We made the noodles and everything together. Enon is still sleeping. I don't think he's woke up since last week. No, I'm just kidding. He's awake. Maybe I'll have a video. We'll see. What else were we doing over there? Oh God. Okay. So everybody knows that Coomer Scott Green, he wrote a book. Motherfucker is signing books. I said, oh hell no. I need to get my tits signed. I need to get my cheek signed. Kuma, sign them, baby. I need my book signed. But so I went over to Coomer Scott's house, and you would think it sits way back. No, it doesn't sit way back. He's literally like right on that main road, like Greek. I mean, no wonder why he was doing shots in those videos. He's right across from the Sigma Chi house, basically. It's just everything looks way spread out when you see it with the media coverage so far. It's not at all. These streets are so narrow. You can't even drive your car side by side. You're definitely slowing down to make sure that you're not hitting anybody. There's cars that obviously park on the road. And then you never want to lose your parking spot. So what do? You never move your car, right? The house that is right next to the murder house that was knocked down. It was, what was it? I double checked. The light bulb is no longer, if you unscrew it, or I got pictures of it, but it is no longer a camera light bulb, in case anybody wants to know that. I counted all the steps that way, to different areas. That way, if ever the data was to surface of how many steps Bethany and or Dylan or any of the victims was to surface, including Bryan. We measured some stuff. That way, if anything was to surface, I had something to compare it to. Also, if any of these people had Life 360 app, I had that on to do routes, see what my app would look like compared to somebody else's. Again, not sure if that would surface, but just to test everything. Trying to think what else got videos of. Everyone's like, "Are you alive?" Hi, yes, of course. I have, let's see, 308 missed calls, 28 text messages I haven't even looked at, and 7,735 emails. So you are not the only one. Okay. Could you see how many people in the area had cameras? Yes, we paid attention to that. We probably looked like creepers taking pictures of people's houses. I'll tell you what, all that new area by the Groves, we got video of over there. I was accurate when I said that when you're leaving the cop station, that you're literally making a right and then you're going right up out of that area. Okay. Or you make your left and you're going then when you're coming out of where the cops park, you're either making a right or a left on the side street that the parking lot sits on. It sits on the corner of one of the main roads right there. But you literally are, if you go right, you have no choice but to go up and you're passing the 700 block. That's the only way you can get up out of there. If you go left, then you're making another quick right to then be on that main street to head up where the guy was allegedly walking with the construction little thingy. Did it feel creepy to be in Moscow? Absolutely not. I think I think it would be one hell of a place to go to school. I can't say that I would want to go to school just because of the leadership. Right now, I would question the leadership. You always want to be somewhere where there's really good leadership, safety, obviously. But it's quiet. It's cold though. People aren't going to be outside when it's fucking -10. I did not run into JRL. I don't believe that he's out here. Lana, did you just want to sneak inside and talk to Bryan for just a minute? No. I don't need to talk to Bryan. Bet it crossed your mind? No, sure didn't. No, didn't. This is all about business trip. Have you drove to Kohberger's apartment? Yep, it was all over there. It's a family that the housing there is for the the grad students, PhD students, families. It's a lot of kids' toys out around there and underneath the stairwell. There's no cameras. I'm telling you this right now, there are no cameras. People say like there's going to be all this stuff that comes out. I looked all over. There's no cameras until like the reason they're stopping a sighting of that vehicle. They're stopping a sighting of that vehicle because there's nothing more to get. The way that his apartment was set up, your doors all face and they're hovered in. So there's nothing you can get from like, even if you had a ring, it's only going to be for your house, your apartment. Nobody was living in his apartment. What was on the door that people asked about on that door, it was a August 4th, 2023. On all the doors, they have this clip. It must be a Pullman thing, but you clip on the door. Like if you're leaving something like a piece of paper for if you're delivery food or something like that. And it was a pool party. Imagine that. It was a fucking pool party. It was the August 4th pool party. And I was like, oh, hell no. And so when somebody said, how do I know that someone's not living there? Well, that is from August 4th of 2023. It's January. I think that person would have taken that down by now. I don't see any signs of life still in that apartment. Did you go to the grub truck? -15. That's my answer to that. I graduated from U of I in 2013. It's beautiful up here, but a lot of the people are not my best. Yeah, I think it's really pretty up here. Getting to Steptoe. Yep, I was at Steptoe. It's not gated or anything like that. Did you go down Frat Roy? Yes. 100. It was a long weekend, so if people were like traveling, maybe they went skiing or I don't know what the hell people do, but since it was a long weekend, people could get away, maybe even go home, whatever. Some people I know schools had like Monday and Tuesday off because they used Tuesday as like a teacher personal day or whatever they did. What else we got? Give a shout out to my mods. They're the best. What was your favorite part of the trip? Well, it's not over yet. So far, favorite part of the trip?
Bella.
I had a meeting today. I'd probably say that was my favorite part of the trip. So
Cheers, it was a really good meeting too.
yeah.
The
So that's-
bomb dropper.
That's about it. Let's see what else. What other parts did I enjoy? I really enjoyed the homemade lasagna meal. I really enjoyed going to Dockside, where Kaylee and Maddie spent a bunch of their growing up years over in Coeur d'Alene, where it's on the water. It's really pretty. It's right by the Kootenai County courthouse and everything downtown. They do a really nice display during the Christmas time, but very family oriented, very nice people. They had amazing. I've had really good food. I went to what was that casino where we go, Kootenai? Or what was the place down in Bonners?
River Inn, right?
The Kootenai River Inn. I went to the Kootenai River Inn, which is tribal land. We got videos of the tunnels with the cameras. What else? I think seeing a lot of the people that were here that secretly didn't know I was gonna be seeing them that was kind of special. And then the information, you know, if you're going to talk about something, you should educate yourself to make sure that, you know, you're talking about it the way that you want to talk about it. Because otherwise I think you look like a fool. But, and I have to say that yeah, being here with the whole coffee thing and the coffee extract, you know, I don't think coffee is code for anything. You guys, there's coffee fucking everywhere. I mean, if it is, then they're going to get away with it because literally there's a coffee little pop up. So, but as far as innocent until proven guilty will always be my thing. I think the state is going to have really, really big hurdles. I think Ann Taylor's on it. I think she's a hell of a person, and I think that she's going to advocate. So, again, and if I see it to go the other way, I'll let you know. Trying to think. Okay, green. I mean, I want to talk to Jody Dam. Oh, I went over to the place that they had the where they took all the house and put it, the company that did it, you know, because they're not doing interviews or anything like that. So I just asked them, fucking interview. Can I just get a picture with you? I just want your muscles up there like this. I want to know who was running the crane. Is that what it's called? I want to know who's doing wheelies that I have a picture of. So I showed him. I was like, I want to know. Can you sign this? I don't believe that there's any tunnels under the house. Sorry. Trying to think. Okay. Do you want to talk about the Corporate Transparency Act? Lana, have you met up with me? I plead the fifth on that so far. Maybe a video will surface. Oh, it's code for something depending on where you go. Oh, for sure. But I'm saying that they would get away with it. They would definitely get away with it here. It gets dark so early there. This is true. Literally, I got out of the shower. I looked at my phone the one day and it was 5:30 and I said, holy shit. Because I'm on East Coast time. And I was like, God, though, it's dark. I mean, whew. So, I want to see that video tonight. Oh, please give me something to make me laugh. I'm gonna have to hold off. I gotta edit a bunch of stuff. These videos are too raw for everybody. I did not get to go to Buddy's house.
We didn't get to pet Murphy.
Yeah, I didn't get to pet Murphy either. I'll be back here for the summer civil showdown. And then if there's a summer trial, but there's the Moore Drake case in the summer in July. Like it was continued from this January to July. So be reporting on that. And then that's supposed to be at the same time as this summer trial. All I have to say is if Moscow wants to have a trial, they might want to give Bryan Kohberger the material so there can be a trial. At the rate they're moving, just like Karen Reed, they think there's going to be a trial in March. How is there going to be a trial in March? So I want to talk about the Delphi case. I want to talk about Darcy Smith case. I want to talk about, obviously everything that Richard Allen's about to go and see what happens with Gall. Karen Reed, that whole debacle. I mean, I love Boston, but what the fuck are y'all doing over there? Pisses me off.
Well, don't call it Boston.
And we won't call that area
Don't call it
Boston.
Canton. And don't call it Boston.
Can I get another one of these Coronas?
I don't know.
Tell them about Toodly Doo.
Yes.
Oh God, you guys want to hear
No,
something
but
funny?
Have them guess what Toodly Doo is.
Okay.
And whoever guesses gets a shout out.
Okay, whoever guesses this right gets a shout out. So we're driving, and somebody says, "Oh my God, I was in Ohio."
You don't have to even say where, but okay, fine.
Yeah, no, you have to say where.
No, just say it. It's hilarious.
And they say, the guy we were with was like, "Oh, whereabouts in Ohio were you?" And this girl says, "How does she say it?"
Toodly Doo.
Toodly Doo. I was in Toodly Doo, Ohio. And we said, "What? Toodly Doo, Ohio? Wow, where's that? You know, I've lived in Ohio my whole life. Like Toodly Doo, Toodly Doo." So what is Toodly Doo, Ohio? Where is that located? I said Toodly Doo. I said,
What the hell
this
is
bitch is
Toodly Doo?
fucking drunk. Yeah, we have a winner.
No,
We have a winner.
name it.
Yes.
Who did it?
JDIZLMYNIZL Toledo.
What? Toledo.
Toodly Doo. Here we come. I said, what?
She like spells it out.
I will never, ever think of the Toledo the same.
I want
Toodly
to
Doo.
know and it legit is
Toodly Doo. It's almost like it's, God bless it. Ah, shit. Cheers. Winner.
Cheers.
I'm dead, right? I said,
Cheers.
what? Toledo? Cheers to Toodly Doo. I hope you have a nice day.
I think we should call it Toodly Doo.
No, you guys, she was being so serious. She's like, I'm out here in Toodly Doo. And what?
The person was so confused.
Yeah, but no, she was so serious. And then I'm like, there is no place called. I've lived there my whole life. I was like, she must not be in Ohio. And then she spells it, and I said, what?
It does look like Toodly Doo.
Whatever. So, what's the other place? Oh yeah, so we're driving up on, what is this, 95?
Sure.
Highway 95. And I'm reading all these signs. And it's called
Genesis? Is that what you're going to talk about?
it's
When you
not
call it
Genesis. It's not Genesis. It's what's the A one?
Genesee.
Athol.
Oh, that's a good.
So it says
You're an asshole.
Athol, Athol, Idaho. I said Athol, like asshole, like Athol.
It's like, so
It's like hold your tongue and say Athol.
It's like a list.
Then we're talking about Athol, Idaho, and then one of the ladies' teachers thought she'd be cute and funny, and she's like, "Well, they said that we can finally change the name of Athol," and everybody thought that because she was a teacher, hey, did you guys hear about this? Like, they're gonna allow us to change the name because everyone's saying Athol, like asshole, like okay. And she says, we're going to change. They're talking about changing it, and they're going to call it Penith, Idaho. Penith, Idaho. Here we come. Penith.
You guys all have such a good sense of humor here.
Love it. It will forever be Toodly Doo to me now.
It is Toodly
Yeah.
Doo.
Penith. Athol. Penith. Penith, Idaho. I'm gonna pee my pants, man. We may work hard, but trust me, you gotta laugh and you gotta love the people that you're around, and I do. With all the true crime stuff, it's really sad, and then it's crazy because then you meet people that you never thought you would meet, and then you're like. Then you remember how you guys met, and it's like a catch-22. You're like, you know, you love the fact that you met him, but you wish it was never under those type of circumstances. But Penith, we got Athol, Idaho. No, we're gonna change that to Penith, Idaho. So anyways, toodly do. You guys will never call Toledo the same thing, right? Dead about that. Corner Club is just getting going. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I could not find so far the electric cars, aka the hybrids that they just bought. I still can't find the FOIA, so I'm gonna do another one. I want to know when they purchased those hybrid cars. So what else do you guys think here? I do think this motion will be granted. I think that things will be coming unsealed. I do think this will be a win-win here in terms of the public. I think people want to see some stuff. And I think Ansealer and Jay want it seen. So I'm curious now what's actually behind it, because if they didn't want it unsealed, like if they didn't want it seen, they could have just not even mentioned it, you know what I mean, and just let it be. I think Alexa says, I may have abs again after this live, right? Come here for the best in true crime and come here for a good time. Crime after crime. Let's name that tune and I get on the mic. That unmarked, Mark B, there is that unmarked cop car was a 2017, 2018 Ford Fusion. Those hybrids, I call them. I'm actually looking for a 2008 black Honda Civic at the moment. I have another car that I'm looking for too. Did I get to go to Mad Greek? No. I'm a very picky, specific eater, and I only wanted some stuff for I didn't go in there and eat, but picks were good enough for me. I saved my meals for the bucket lists I had. Look for a hotel and book your reservation early for the trial. I'm already booked. I just rented out all of Idaho for the summer. No, I'm gonna plan on my summer for the 4th of July. Plan and doing things up here. What else? If they don't have nuggets and Coca-Cola, Atlanta don't want it. Give me some nuggets. Get out of here, girl. No. I want a big, fat, juicy steak with some asparagus. I want some good pasta sauce. What else? Anything else until for? Oh my God! I got 7 more minutes. I'll give you, and then I'm gonna turn this out. I've been go. I'm tired. I'll be closing out strong, and I think I'm gonna call a noise complaint on myself tomorrow. I like to report a noise complaint on myself. I'm out here screaming my ass off. No one's moving. So I was wondering if you come and detain me for a minute, just because I want to put you on my show. No, I'm kidding, guys. The haters tried to call a noise complaint on me because they thought I was somewhere, and I wasn't. I love fucking with people when they think they good. Shit. You fucking with the best. Be careful. I want to report a noise complaint. There is a YouTuber that is going door to door trying to interview people. No, there wasn't. Don't worry. We already put the FOIA in. Can't wait to find out who the complainer is. Stupid people. Every time I call, they went straight to voice message. What? Oh my God, really? Holy shit. It's being proven true. What? Every time my hairdresser was trying to call me, she's like, where have you been? Are you dead? Do you have me blocked? Every time I called, it went straight to voicemail. Why? Because there's no fucking service out here. She's like, I swear it's been 6 weeks.
But I have Verizon and I have service. So do you ever do weave in your hair?
Oh, excuse me? But
Oh,
no,
she's still live though.
no.
Are you live?
Yes, live. Oh my God, for fuck's sake, YouTube, why aren't you telling me TNT is live? What the fuck?
The voice.
Unsubscribe, resubscribe. It'll kick in your notifications. Welcome to memberships for 12 months. Breakfast. Love your impeccable skills, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to start reading my messages right here, and I'm going to say in bed. So let's go in bed. Love your impeccable skills, Lana. In bed. I'm just kidding, guys. Cyber Ninja new member. Welcome. Deborah, I talked about it earlier. Thank you so much, baby girl. Facts and truth only, please. Were you the YouTuber around the 1100 King Road live streaming and the cops were called? No report taken. No, it wasn't. Not at that time. And what was great is somebody tried to call that in because they thought I was going to be there like all day. And so we already put a request in. And so I'm going to reveal who the complainer is, the complainant. So let's see if that trace locate, if they blocked it, because I'm going to find out who it is. Did you pet that pussy cat? No, I said go find your daddy, Enon. Please ignore all my questions, Lana. Not a problem. Just kidding. For fuck's sake, I love it. Yes, we are blessed. I may sound biased, but yeah, we're blessed. The crew just come on in. Just got here. What does he want unsealed? His handcuffs. No service, but we're supposed to trust the cell towers in it. I'm telling you, she says, I've called you. Where have you been? Are you alive? I said, what? Did you have me blocked? No, what? Girl, I'm in Idaho. You know there ain't no service out here. You know people die without service out here. You know people die in no service. I'll tell you what's going to be super interesting. So check this out. The cell towers in this town, they're going to have to dig deep to really, really get specific because nobody's on cell towers around here. It's all this Wi-Fi calling, right? So when they said they looked on the towers from 3 to 5 and that they couldn't say Bryan Kohberger on there anywhere, right? Well, in the Jennifer Drake, Brian Drake, Dan Moore, those towers for the hour that they went and got, no, there's nobody on any cell towers. They got no 911 calls. They got nothing. And I'm like, but we got these 911 calls. Who made them? Where'd they come? Who dialed them? What phone? So I'm telling you, I cannot wait to hear about all of this 911 shenanigans because the shenanigans surrounding the 911 call in the Drake case is about to blow what they did to hide the time frame of these 911 calls that I have uncovered and I will be presenting. And have been. I mean, I've been breaking it down here and there, but the new timeline I'm going to reveal. You guys have seen some of the footage I've shown. Deer, they're saying deer are people out here. God bless these people. Thank you. Deer is people. Somebody just says something and they just believe it without even looking it up. Are you going to watch one of Backseat Bill's rockin' performances and blow him some kisses? Backseat Bill, he's not a courtroom guy. He's not a courtroom guy. I did stop by and see Sienna the other day. I asked if I could sit on his lap. He said, well, little girl, that time has passed. You're going to have to wait till next Christmas. Dockside is great. Beverly's at the top of the resort is top notch. How about crickets? went over there to Crickets. Yeah, I was grinding on some 7-year-old's lap, saying, "Hey, if you were on the jury, would you vote guilty or not guilty?" What jury? I'm here for fun. No. Some people don't even know about the Bryan Kohberger Idaho4 case. Some people obviously do. And then I ask him, did you vote for Trump? Okay, so then you probably would vote that Bryan Kohberger is guilty, or what do you think? Do you think you have the right to still bear arms? Then you don't believe in innocent until proven guilty. If you have the right to bear arms in Idaho, you have the right to not tell anybody anything in Idaho. You can just carry a gun and nobody knows about it. Yeah, everybody was packing in here. I was watching everybody where they were walking in places to see how big their bulge was. Innocent until proven guilty. That's what she thinks. She thinks my work's impeccable. Have you wondered if the Darcy case has any relation to the Drake case? Yeah, the connection is corruption with the police. Absolutely. Yeah, Barney Fife's around town. I believe that Darcy Smith was murdered, and I think that Scott Roeder can probably prove that with his work. So I look forward to that. But yeah. All right, guys. I did not happen to see my butt. Bella wouldn't let me see my butt. The only butt I can see. No, my button. The prayers for that family, though. From what I understand, they around the holidays had a loss, and no words for that. So, Lana, did you crash any college parties? That they came my way. Actually, I didn't have to crash anything. I was looking for what's her tits, Dylan Mortensen. I couldn't find her. Subscribe, like, and share. Yeah. What is up, Heather? I know I've missed all you people. I mean, I'm sure you guys have missed me too. I mean, no one's bringing you the PK facts. But yeah, got hella film. Want to have it at my place so I can show you guys all the stuff I walked around and did and drove around and but I want to give it true justice by having it in my studio where it can be, I can have Hector there and I can point things out and stuff like that. Thank you for that. Yeah, do me a favor on your way out. You have an opinion. Really quick, you guys can go and check out that item drop document. I do believe that this will 100% be unsealed because it's law. I just don't see them fighting it, and I think that's why she went ahead and said this stuff right here. Ann Taylor. Very curious to see what the 26th brings, but more importantly, because we got some dates coming up here, Richard Allen, he's got a day. So I'll be covering that. I do believe that Richard Allen is, I believe in his lawyers, and I don't think his lawyers are just fucking around, just writing shit. I think the other lawyers have stepped up, and I think that Richard Allen's innocent. And I feel really bad because the families of those two girls. So prayers to all of our victims out there. Ones that are seen as victims and ones that aren't seen as victims and that should be seen as victims. So with that said, see you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys so much for being here. Be kind to one another. If you can't be kind, be quiet. Ooh. Nothing like doing a live in Idaho.
This is
So
what the other
pretty,
group
so
had.
pretty.
Oh, really? You just did shit?
All right, guys, stay safe, stay warm.
This one's kept walking in the car. And the other one.
It's truly for the win.
Or what? Disc that I was given to. So there was 2 different discs. Okay, they all knew about it.
We're not here to talk about the alcohol stuff, okay?
Okay, yeah.
But this is the second noise complaint we've had here tonight within 2 hours.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Is this your place?
Yeah.
Perfect. You know why we're here?